Ho, 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 I'm Santa Zedmont. Now, this Christmas crab is not actually a Christmas crab, it's actually a New Year's crab, but it happens to fall over Christmas, so I've got all of my red and green statues glowing. I've got my Beachmas tree out. We will be replacing those later in this sneak peek, but for right now, I just wanted to get the Christmas spirit fully rocking and rolling. Now, in this sneak peek, yes, we are on the dev build, as you can tell by the fact that I'm level 80 and have 1,000,000 diamonds and all of that sort of stuff. We are going to go over the New Year's crab. First of all, we're going to start by showing off the trophies. And here they be. Now, if you have a long memory in Boom Beach, you'll remember that when the New Year's crab started, it was the 2019 trophy, which of course doesn't work as far as upgrading to legendary. So they've replaced it with the firework trophy, and that is what this mega crab is all about. So what we're going to do here, we're going to come over to my archipelago map here. If you've managed to make it this far without opening any clouds, I am extremely impressed. We are going to open the one cloud required to get the mega crab. There she is, the mega crab for the fireworks. Now, this mega crab is a little bit interesting. What it's going to offer us is, if we have a look, we get different GBE abilities every single level. Those are going to rotate through. We're going to get all of the goodness and some of the badness. Yes, crystal critters and crystal shields and deployable turrets, not deployable turrets, what are those things? The critters that you have to drop under smoke are all going to be involved, but we get 50% troop health bonus on stage 1, and then if we come back into stage 10, we've got 50% troop damage, and every 10 levels we get health, and then every 10 more we get damage. So if we jump ahead to level 20, you guessed it, 100% troop health. And then again, if we jump to stage 30, and I am just going to keep jumping until the boosts stop adding up, and then we will get into some demo attacks. So we're now up to 150% troop health, which means stage 50 is going to be giving us, you guessed it, 150% troop damage. We are going to keep going. Please let me know in the comments if you find this format annoying. Typically, I have my boost page, but I figured, you know what, let's mix it up, try something ever so slightly different. Now, as always, all of these details will be in the description for those of you who don't like to watch these videos or get annoyed by long details. I always make a point to throw it down there in the description. Now, we are at 200% troop damage on stage 70. I'm really hoping that it caps out at this, and then from stage 70 to infinity, we have 200% troop damage. Let's quickly jump ahead to stage 80 and see if that's going to be the case or not. And it looks like yes, that is going to be the case. So stage 70 onwards, we're going to have 200% troop damage. That is going to be absolutely insane. And I love the fact that they went with damage instead of health, because it's going to mean that I like blowing things up. I hope that makes sense. Obviously, health might have been more beneficial for people with different statues, but I'm really excited for all this extra damage. So now what we're going to do is jump ahead 20 more stages, and we'll do a demo on stage 100, because why the heck not? And of course, stage 100 has the crystal shield projector, which makes me incredibly sad. Was really hoping it was going to have the remote hack or even the tiny shock or something fun, but nonetheless, we will load some troops and then we will get in and hit stage 100. Now, these kinds of statues are not going to do it, so what we're going to do is we'll pause, come back with some better statues, and then we'll get into the attack, because green statues aren't going to do a heck of a lot of good for us. Now, one thing to note, if you have a look at your landing crafts, 90% off all troops. This means that players who do not have instant training are going to be able to get statues, trophies farther than they ever have in the past. Cheap diamonds. Going into bombardiers, for example, 2 diamonds to change landing crafts. Incredibly cheap, and that's going to make for some good things for people who do not have instant training. So hopefully you've been saving your diamonds. As you can see up there in that top right-hand corner, I have been. Now, before we get any further, if this video entertained you, wasted your time in a good way, or educated you, or something in between, please do consider throwing ZMOT in your creator code. Doesn't matter if it's uppercase, lowercase, it would be greatly appreciated. And As you might notice, I have way more troop health statues than I normally do. That's simply because stages 20, 70 onwards are going to be all extra damage, as you saw there. So we're going to do some extra health this time. Let's have a look at stage 100 and see what it's got in store for us. Now, it has this N shape or this V shape or whatever the heck you want to call it. I love this layout. This should be a solo on most cases, but all of these seamals over here are going to make things a little bit difficult. That shock blaster is also in a tough spot. So without further ado, let's get into it, see if we can pull off a solo. I'm going to go off to this left-hand side. Why the left-hand side, you ask? Because why the heck not, I suppose. We're going to get all of our tanks over on this right. We're going to get our bombardiers over on the left. And then we're going to get shocking on all of the CMOs, because CMOs and I do not get along terribly well. Now, just to note, that crystal shield projector, I should say, does protect your critters if you throw it right there on top of them. Gets them shot twice, which is mildly helpful. More importantly, we're getting rid of these CMOs as fast as we can that are on this left-hand side over by our Bullit and by our tanks. So at this point, we're doing fairly darn well, I gotta say. At my first glance was to go to that left-hand side. Way more flamethrowers. Also, that laser was going to be a massive problem. So coming in straight at these CMOs. I'm hoping this is going to be the right call. We're not going to be able to find out for a little bit, but so far we've been able to avoid all of the things just by having our bombardiers over on this left side and Bullit over on the right. But now, as you can see, all of our bombardiers are starting to get melted. What I was hoping to do was get a couple of those extra shield generators down, but it looks like that is not going to be the case. At this point, we are just desperately trying to get one more shock so that I can get rid of that shock launcher on that right-hand side, as the shock blaster is just pummeling all of our troops. Things are not going terribly well, but the fact that we've managed to get the heck away from all of the shock blaster and the shock launchers means we have the outside chance. I don't think we have a heck of a lot of chances, but we've got a little bit. Bullit went and died on us. I'm not sure if I remembered to upgrade him before I started this attack or not. Dev build mistakes were likely made, but nonetheless, we managed to get this whole right side down with zero planning, zero scouting, and nearly zero skill, as you likely could have guessed by how well this initial attack went. So now that that is out of the way, stage 100, my first failure, because it's my first attack on the dev build, quite obviously. So now that we've gotten this out of the way, what I'm going to do is come back with warriors. Warriors are not typically very good for the megacrab. We do have a warrior tribe at the moment, but even that is not going to be what we require to take this down using warriors. But we're going to give it a shot simply because this is the dev build and it doesn't really matter anyways. So I'm going to pause here and then come back with fully loaded warriors. Not that you can see them because of my banner is flashing in front of them. Slightly transparent. Anyways, let's get into it. Now, one thing to note, I don't have any tribes boosted right now. Do make sure you boost your tribes appropriately. Not to say that you should boost your warrior tribe, but we're going to give it a shot just for this one instance because, like I said, how often do we get to use warriors on the megacrab on stage 100? I think the answer is never. I can't think of a time when we've done it before, but so what we're going to do right here is we're going to run in. Why the heck I flared onto that there sniper tower, behind the sniper tower, I should say. I don't actually know. As soon as the smoke clears, this is going to turn into just absolute pandemonium. I'm okay with that. These warriors should hopefully crush all of the things around us. Those shock blasters and sniper towers and flamethrowers and lasers are going to be massive problems, but hopefully this crystal shield projector somehow, some way saves the day for us. I do not have high hopes, but maybe, just maybe, we can get rid of that shock blaster and then leave some of our warriors to fight their way through it. Come on, last artillery for the win. And now it all comes down to this one. We've got all of our warriors hidden behind the core. We've got, what's that, 2, 4, 8. Nope, we're losing them very, very quickly. We are down to 1, 2, not many. That laser is absolutely crushing our hopes and dreams. Speaking of hopes and dreams, hopefully you guys are having a fantastic Christmas. This is a very, very strange Christmas. We're going to have to come back with some more warriors. Thankfully, we have cheap troops, 16 diamonds to bring back all of our troops. I highly, highly recommend pushing over the Christmas season. This is not one you want to ignore your family on, but at the same time, likely there's some sort of lockdown where you are and you're forced to live in a non-standard, unusual world. So hopefully this Mega Crab comes at a time to pose some distraction. I'm not sure if Supercell took that into account when they made All Troop Mania, or they were just trying to make some fireworking good fun. Regardless, throw some warriors out there, use all of those attacks. I tend to push for the second builder. Second builder, there is no better time to use the second builder than during the Mega Crab, because you can get so many upgrades in, but obviously that depends on what your goal is and how you play Boom Beach. So we are absolutely melting this core. It does not look like it's moving very fast, but I assure you it is, because this thing had ridiculous amounts of health, and I would have been able to tell you how much health it had if I would have checked, but of course I forgot that step. So stage 100 down using warriors. I challenge you to do the same thing. Realistically, if you're getting to stage 100 with warriors, you're not going to be using warriors. So that is stage 100. Hopefully this video helped you in some way plan for the New Year Mega Crab. Stage 101, I want to quickly check to see how much health is on that shield. As you can see there, 23 million. We've got all sorts of damage, 368% damage. That is all thanks to this wonderful 200% extra damage for your attacks. Anyways, as always, I am Santa Zedmont. Hopefully this video entertained you, educated you somewhere in the middle, and didn't annoy you all that much. Anyways, don't forget, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you're excited about for Christmas or New Year's or the crab itself. Otherwise, I shall talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. I'm Zedmont. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. Talk to you soon. Peace.